Hey guys, how you doing? Once again, it's your boy Allan Wade here with another episode of Beat the Street. And we're out here, the campus, University of Pennsylvania College, very prestigious college here in University City, Philadelphia. And we are going to find a few students to answer a few questions for us. Hopefully we'll find some students between classes, or maybe they don't have class today, they're hanging around, they can answer a few questions for us, bless us with a little bit of time, because guess what? We got questions, right? And we need answers. Very, very excited. We got our first questionee here. And what's your name?
My name is Michelle.
Nice to meet you, Michelle. Do you go to school here?
I do not. I used to go to grad school in the Philadelphia area, but I have been to college before, so.
Awesome. Yeah, first question. Do you think every high school graduate should go to college?
I don't think every high school graduate should go to college. I think it really depends on the path that you want to take in your life. Some people are, they like a trade a little bit more, and some people are not even wanting to go to school, and that's absolutely fine. So, it's kind of your own path in life, whatever you decide that you really want to do.
Have you done this before?
Me? No.
Do you think every high school graduate should attend college?
Not necessarily, no. There are a lot of other options that are a lot less expensive that actually on average will produce a better return. Like you'll get a much better return from, say, a technical school than getting a useless degree at a 4-year school and then not having a job when you come out at the end and just be swimming in debt. So it'll get you off to a better start and, just generally be better. And in addition, we actually need more like plumbers. We need more electricians. Like those jobs are in insanely high demand right now because right now everyone's pushing people to go to college. They think that's the only route to really go, so people just generally aren't aware of these alternative options.
Mm-hmm. What's your name?
Chase McLaughlin.
Chase, nice to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you too.
And do you think that every high school graduate should attend college?
It really depends on the person. I think if you are, say, confused about what you want to do, I don't think college is for you just yet. I think if you're like an art major, like I am, depending on the school, I don't think all schools are for you. And what I mean by that is just like, if your school doesn't provide like the materials and the equipment for you to actually work on your art, and you don't get a chance to work on your art, are you really improving on your craft?
Good point.
But if you say are like, a lawyer, like you want to be a lawyer or a doctor, of course, college is necessary. And I mean, I think as a filmmaker, I thought it brought me nice connections that I wouldn't have had otherwise. And it just broadens your network and exposes you to a lot of people that you would have known otherwise.
No. I think that every high school graduate should have an opportunity to attend some type of post-secondary education. So whether that is a vocational training, technical training, or a 4-year degree. But I don't think that they need to go to college, but I do think that they should have an equal opportunity to get some type of post-secondary education.
No, absolutely not. I think there's a lot of different options out there, like blue-collar jobs, even though we think like a lot of machines will be taking over them. I think for now that there's still a lot of jobs out there.
In your opinion, right, upon graduation of college, when you went to college, do you think that you got everything that you paid for?
See, that's a hard question. I think my expectations changed throughout college. So when I went to college, in the beginning, I was 18 years old. When I ended, I was 22. So the things I wanted in life at 18 was a lot different than what I wanted in life at 22. So I would say I got most of what I wanted. I got an education. I kind of figured out my path in life to what I needed to do towards the end. I did wish I had a little bit more, but I would say I got 87% of what I wanted.
That's a good percentage. 87% is a good percent.
In my situation, yes. I'm at the University of Pennsylvania at the business school here, and in addition, I'm paying, I think, $1,000 a year to come here because of the financial aid. But in many cases, no. But for me personally, yeah.
As a senior right now at Drexel, I would say that I've gotten what I don't know if I'd say I gotten fully what I paid for. I'd say maybe about like half of which.
Okay, 50%.
Yeah.
It's not bad. Not bad. I guess.
I mean,
Actually, it is bad.
I mean, co-op helps, but just the time spent on, more of the trivial. What's the word I'm looking for? Just the trivial things that college sometimes brings you
Right.
isn't necessarily worth paying for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think in my personal experience, yes, because I worked really hard for the things that I did in college. I think generally it's kind of a mixed bag. I think some students like myself who are very resilient, who have worked very hard, will get what they want from their degree. I think there are some that will not, because they will not put in the work for it, or they lack the skills and the ability to to be successful. Maybe that, like, I was a first-gen college student, so I didn't have the skills when I came to college.
Yeah.
I had to ask a lot of questions, and I had to learn a lot on my own, but I still missed out on stuff, even though
Right.
I worked really hard. I still missed out on stuff. So I think
Right.
that's kind of the case for a lot of students. Either they come from a background where their degree will be valuable because their family has helped them, or they're going to kind of struggle.
Now, in your opinion, upon graduating college, do you think that you'd have gotten what you paid for?
The first year out, maybe not. Praying that eventually, yes, to pay off student loans.
Do you think college life is more about the value of the education that you're getting, or more about the social benefits?
Ooh, this is a big thing. I think it's a combination of both, because I think that college socially teaches you a lot of great skills, teaches you how to be independent, teaches you how to be able to live on your own, to do the things that you need to do, helps you make friends. That's a really big deal. But at the same time, too, you should be there to be there for your education. You shouldn't go just to a party school, but you shouldn't go to a school that's so focused on education, because you kind of need that balance. It's really important to learn life lessons from both.
I promise you guys that we didn't. She's just that good.
He didn't pay me.
I think that all really depends on what school you're going to, and on the individual person as well. It's really just what you make of it. If you want your college experience to be all parties, like, absolutely, it can be. If you want it to be academic, and if you want to pursue something at a higher level, it could also be that. That's really up to the individual, I think.
Okay.
That's a good question. It really depends on the school. Yeah, it really depends on the curriculum.
Okay.
Because, say, I don't know, if I had come to Penn for film, it wouldn't have made much sense for me to spend that much money to go here.
Right.
And just learn the studies rather than just actually work on the craft. So, yeah, it really just depends on the school.
Okay. All right.
And you have to really, do the research to check the curriculum.
Yeah.
To see if it matches your learning style.
Definitely both. I mean, there's things at college that you're not going to learn anywhere else, in terms of both education and social. I think that you can get the social aspects of college without going to college, like learning how to live with roommates, and manage your time and things like that. You can get just from working in different places and doing different jobs. But I think the education part is very unique too.
Awesome. What do you think is more valuable in life? Life experience or a college education? Life experience or college education? What would you say?
That's so hard. Once again, it is kind of that balance. I wouldn't say necessarily college education, but I do think education in general is very important. Like I was talking before a little bit about the trade. So if you want to be a plumber, cool, go be a plumber. Educate yourself in that. Or if you don't even want to educate yourself on something that's, for a job later on in life, like maybe you're super passionate just about planes, but you're not going to go fly a plane. Education is super important, but life experience is so important. So when I was in college, I studied abroad, and that was the best decision I ever made. I got to go out of this country. I got to see all these wonderful things. And so having a balance, like I keep saying, for everything is so important for both.
So what do you think has the most value? Life experience or college experience?
Life
experience?
Yeah.
And why would you say that?
It's because most interviews are going to ask you, what have you done with your life, rather than just, oh, you went here, that's cool. Though, well, in my experience at least, I've noticed that your experience in the workforce is much more important than your college degree. But your college degree could help you or could enhance your level in terms of where they rank you in the employment force.
Awesome. Okay. And do you think the higher education system needs to be revamped or more modernized?
Yes. Yeah, I think it does. I think it's a lot more focused on like the trivial aspects of like the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, rather than just like the actual work that the majors, like you would expect people in the majors to learn.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, do you think the higher education system needs to be like revamped or modernized?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely think that it does. I think a lot of it, I mean, not to put it down, is really based on money. So why they take people in, a lot of the main things that the higher education does is based on money. So thinking a little bit about more of the consumer, making higher education more about the people that are going to college, more about the people that want the education. So I think in that sense, it does need to be revamped.
Do you think the higher education system needs to be revamped and or more modernized?
That's kind of a two-parted question. I would say yes in both cases. It depends on the federal level and also on a state level. Federally, we have certain policies in place on what can be taught, how schools are accredited. On a state level, it's really up to the state to make college affordable, to make it what it is. I mean, then you have these private institutions that fall into this dynamic, but they will have to adhere to state law. And so if you have state law or state policies that are encouraging inclusivity and access to education, then you will have that across the board because it is mandated whether you're a private or a public institution. A great example, in New York State, there's a program called the Higher Education Opportunity Program run by the state of New York that basically admits students who are academically bright but may not have the skills to get into a Cornell or to a Syracuse. Pennsylvania, there used to be a program here called Act 101, but the state legislator has defunded that program and made it now, even for schools that do have it, useless, that they can't provide students the resources to be successful there. Wow. And so as a state, Pennsylvania has failed many of its students because they're not providing resources for first-gen or low-income or minority students to get assistance at a state school or a private. So then it falls to places like Penn or Drexel that have first-generation student initiatives. The university takes it up. Okay. So it's really mixed in terms of what policies, where things are coming from.
Right. Do you think the higher education system should be revamped and more modernized?
Should it be modernized? In what way?
Like in the sense of this is how college has been laid out for years. Do you think there should be some type of overhaul of the whole system and how it's orchestrated and organized, and classes that are valuable versus, things like that? What do you think?
I feel like if it's not broke, don't fix it. And I think that there's options out there for for example, my friend is doing her 2 years associates, and another 2 years she gets her bachelor's. And there's also programs that are a hybrid of master's and undergrad, or PhD and undergrad and MBA, all of those different things. So I think there's options out there that are more modern, but if the current system's there's nothing wrong with it, then I don't see the point.
Very good point. If it ain't broke, then don't try to fix it, and there are other options out there for you.
I mean, that's kind of a broad question. I definitely think in general it should be cheaper, or easier to afford at least. I mean, people graduating with ridiculous amount of debts is my main concern right now.
How much do you think the average college education costs?
Oh, average?
Average.
40,000?
40,000?
A year. So sorry.
Okay.
I wasn't a math major, if anybody wants to know.
40,000 a year. Okay.
Again, that's based, I think, on the market. For example, Penn, what are their peer institutions charging? What is Cornell? What is Brown? What is Harvard? What is Yale charging? They're probably going to take a look at that and say, oh, we should be aligned with that. One doesn't want to be cheaper or more expensive than the other. I think on a state level, it depends on how much funding the state is giving to those universities. So in Pennsylvania, you have Temple, Pitt, and Cheney are state-affiliated schools, so they get some state money, but they're privately run. East Stroudsburg, for example, or Westchester are just state schools. Well, almost all of their money is coming from the state. Well, if your state isn't giving your universities money, you're not going to have a great education there.
Yeah. So, like, if you had to give it a number, like,
I would probably
average
say
amount.
most students, I don't know what the national average is. I want to guess. I want to say like 50, 60,000 maybe.
Okay.
Most students may have something in that range.
Okay.
How much is it? I think it's about like 30,000,
Really? Okay.
40,000. I know I'm paying much more than that, but
Okay. So on average, you'd say between 30 and 40,000.
around there.
Okay.
Depending, yeah.
Yeah.
Each year, maybe 25,000.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Am I close?
The average 40,000.
How many years do you estimate it will take you to pay back your college debt?
Ridiculous amount of years. 10 at the least, probably. At the least.
And 10 years is not that much time, but it is a long time to owe somebody money. So I'd like to thank you for letting me do this interview with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was my pleasure. It was a great time.
Thank you so much. How many years do you think on average it's going to take you to pay back your debt, college debt, once it's acquired after graduating?
So for me, I should have it paid off within the first year.
That is awesome. How'd you do that? Is that magic?
Well, I have a return offer set up at a job that will be paying
Awesome.
fairly well, and additionally, like I said before, $4,000
Yeah.
for all 4 years. So.
Do you think there should be a high school class maybe that teaches kids how to find money and grants and things like that?
Oh, absolutely. Like, there should be a high school class, I think, called, like, general life skills. They should teach you how to pay taxes. They should teach you about interest. They should teach you about, like, good debt and bad debt. Like, just basically just, like, a intro finance course into what you're actually getting yourself into.
Wow.
Because a lot of people, they sign up for these things at their parents' advice when they're 17 years old,
Yep.
and the next thing they know, they're launched into the real world, $200,000 in debt, and they have no idea what to do. So some kind of class in high school to educate students on that could absolutely be beneficial.
Wow. Spoken like he was talking directly to me. How many years do you think it would take you, if any, to pay off your college debt in full once you graduated?
I honestly don't know. It really depends.
Your best guess.
The plan is 5 to 10 years. That's the goal.
Okay.
But if I wanted to be more pessimistic about it, I'd probably say more like 20 to 30.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I know my parents are still paying theirs.
Right.
And it's been 20, 30 years.
Wow.
For me,
Yeah.
looking at the amount of debt I have, I think I probably have about $80,000. I feel like it's probably going to take me 20 years.
That like really depends. I mean, I don't have a job, so like this I could be looking at a long time right now.
Now, how many years would you, like, your best estimate? Like, how many years are you hoping? Realistically.
Less than 10? 5?
5. That's very optimistic. You're going to have a great job. All right. So thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate your
of
time.
course.
Thank you for doing this
Thank you
interview.
for
I appreciate
having
you.
me.
Appreciate you, man. Thank you for allowing me this interview. Thank you for allowing me this interview with me, man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Subscribe to him on YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Oh, man. How'd that happen?
I got in a bike crash.
Ooh.
Subscribe to him on YouTube.
Thank you. All right, guys, we were able to get all of our questions answered today. We got some really good opinions from some really enthusiastic subjects. It seems like they were passionate about what they were answering, guys. So what about you guys? How do you guys feel? Leave your answers in the comment section down below and let me know. Do you think the college system is worth what people are paying for it? How much on average do you think a person pays a year for college? How long do you think it would take each person to pay off their college debt? Do you think the college system needs to be revamped or modernized? What do you guys think? Leave your answers in the comment section down below. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching, and if you're not subscribed to the channel at this time, please hit the subscribe button and let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit the post notification bell so you can be notified every time I upload a new video. It's your boy Allan Wade here with another episode of Beat the Street, and I'm out, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Peace. Turn up that, crank it
listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby.